Uh, Going live right now. Tonight was Moon Eye, chill and how can I say this? Loner type night. Funny situation about something. I was just sleeping and I actually just woke up out my sleep because the ignorance of other people and stuff. It's not my fault other people are stupid, but you ever been married and then you have another man that tells your wife to spread the love because of the ignorance that after all the education I've been educating individuals, and then a man says, my wife, I'm a grown man, and see me roughly, before I had got certain things had happened to me in a paradigm, right? But I never lied about my situation. I was very upfront. I never had to do funny things, and I'm a grown man, so I don't expect my wife to run around or as a man or funny things trying to do funny things a certain type of way. But that just goes to show individuals of their consciousness because it's just like, let me show you something. It's just like the energy or the force of all existence. It's really me, the real force of all existence, the real energy of all existence. But I'm gonna just say like this: even uh, seeing and experiencing the force of all existence within myself and also outside of myself is a wonderful thing because it shows everything I accomplished in a physical reality, a certain type of way, um, even in physics. But when you have individuals, after educating individuals about the reasons of honor, the reason of a dignity, the reason of acknowledgement, the reason of to have a form of a conscious value for one's existence in life. And then you have people that experience life such at a high level, and then because of the way they experience life, because of their ignorance, they try to deteriorate or demoralize life, even dignity and history through in a paradigm of time, and then because their excuse was they didn't acknowledge the education. They did know the education. It's just their ignorance of what they wanted to do because probably the lifestyle that they're living in them wanted to be a real situation. And then imagine having a real situation that wants to go out there and do funny things to a individual in life a certain type of way, right? And then a man says, listen, it's just like telling the energy of raw space, if I die and I'm a man of honor, it show you even at a time the high acknowledgement of an individual. If a person, it's like showing a person magic or educating them, and then they try to use the magic against you. You can't use the magic against me, but a person that would try something like that, imagine I'm the real force and the real energy and the real space himself. But imagine having a child that acknowledges that type of education, and then you tell a child that something happens, you have to maintain because I'm recovering because of the way I educated you. Because because of me educating you, you had people that knew forms of education that didn't honor their own dignity and education when they were supposed to honor their dignity and education, and then they were going after a certain type of education, leading up to you a certain type of way because they just wanted to be the real situation and they wasn't the real situation. So it goes to show how much they they felt or thought about or loved your consciousness that even made you at a time. So a person would have you turn against yourself and cause the destruction of yourself. And if something like that was to ever happen, honor and dignity will never cause you to destroy yourself. You know, defending or regarding one's humane condition is different because knowing the reason one has to uphold the one's dignity and one's choice of existence that is still of honor and the reason uh, of the love that even made the continuance of the physical reality. But when you have people that want to manipulate and do funny things and get over on people, and it's just like somebody telling them like the Kabbalah situation. You ever had somebody say, "Oh, the Kabbalah is it should be you should scare a person, like you should be more scary than the person. You should enjoy making a person feel like that's stupid people because people that does something like that are people that didn't really know the education and the reason of judgment and the physical reality. Those are people after a while that would literally manipulate the physical reality after a while, break down the original order, and then next you know, try to finish individuals in existence because of their greed of their consciousness and because of what they did that tormented themselves in the physical reality that led up to the end situation. So this just shows you their stupidity, because imagine a person wanted to end the world when everything could have been of love, but because they wanted to experience other things they weren't supposed to. And then when a person says, because you did that, there ain't no fixing the situation because you don't know why the situation was like the first reason why it was like that in the first place. So you should have never did it. It's like going to work and then you tell somebody, oh, you gotta follow these instructions for you to be okay, and then next thing you know, they want to do their own thing. Then things happen and they wonder what happened. Everybody that listened was okay until stupidity people started wanting to experiment the way they speak and the things that things like that. When things like that happen, that's when things happen and they even complain like what happened. It's just like light. You turn off the lights to see. Let me show you. Probably people are that stupid. I gotta continue showing people forms of education. If I turn off the lights like this, right? For you to see further, like if I'm looking in the course of, I have to turn on the lights, right? Oh, okay. So if a person, now imagine a person in life that you tell them ahead of time, if you offend yourself ahead of time, it's like turning off your lights without you even knowing that it's about to turn off. And then on top of it, then if you think that you're going to manipulate the situation, that's why you're feeling like that because you did it to yourself a certain type of way anyway. Because of your ignorance. So, it's just like my son, imagine my son's space, gravity, energy, light. And I'm not talking about the dual emphasis because I have dual emphasis, but I have literal sons that's also space, energy, for, well, I'm the force, but I have space, energy, light, you know, besides the jewels, real individuals are that don't even need a jewel and stuff. So, sky, it's just like, imagine, like, imagine majesty. Imagine them learning about the physical reality and then having people little by little bit that wants to make them become like a super villain to turn against their own consciousness who made them because of their ignorance. But the reason why people wanted that to happen is because they ruined what they had for themselves. Ruin means like they kind of messed it up, like what they had for themselves on a level. They didn't really do anything to make the quality of the future for a more valuable and a loving experience for the next day. They actually ruined it for themselves, and then they their miserable, fucked up, ignorant attitude that causes negligence just want is just wanted another person to be a part of that company. So they could say at a point in time when they're pointing fingers, like if they were trying to reverse it on somebody or point fingers on somebody, they would say, it's just like you ever seen at the end of the movie Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, and then they were doing showing you the act and they were flipping the gun on each other, and they kept flipping the gun on each other. There's just stupidity, but another person's wondering what's happening at the time. We don't have to wait to a certain level of physics to get to certain heights of the physical reality to see when a gun will go off or whatever, right? But imagine this: imagine people that learn certain things and then they get to the point of the real highest point, like the Tower of Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. They get to the highest point, and then they want, and say they're trying to get to the future to convince other people that's innocent, that's wondering why did this happen, and then because they're scared that other majority might look at it a different way, and they're not too sure about the spoiled intentions that they caused already. They try to flip it on the person on the highest level to make it seem like the person was the bad person, and it was never the person on the highest level was the bad person. It's just the fact that they wanted that person to indulge in that act. So this way, when people are wondering, they can say, "Oh, it was this person that caused it." It's just like what they did to me during the Dr. York situation. Dr. York was like temple. Where a person with says they wear all blue or certain other colors and stuff, right? Because it's not only blue, it's other colors. But imagine a person saying like what they did to me. They tried to throw me in jail for such a long period of time for the wrong that they did, and then when a life is a certain type of way, they wasn't happy with it being a certain type of way in order. Because if a man, it's just like having a lot. I have a lot of wives. Other people are mad that I have a lot. They want a lot of wives. Then on top of it, then they try to influence the feminine wives that individuals have to to go against a happy, loving household is the reason of the education. And then what did they go out and do like scumbags? Then they go get other women. So after they get into one relationship, they wasn't happy. Then they go get another relationship, then another relationship, and then another relationship because they're not the soulmate of the individual. So every time it goes wrong and something happens, it doesn't. Some people look at it doesn't make no sense to continue. See, me is a difference. I made life. I could actually really do this because I literally made life. Another person couldn't do it. But what was the situation? They wanted to learn what a man knew, what I knew, and then next thing you know, then they try to flip it on me and the end top. So it's just like what happened to me and Boogie Night. I get shot. Now you learn what you learn. Then on top of it, then it's the same thing in the education, the things I'm doing now because another individual find out. It's like I was listening to these stories, other stories and movies on YouTube and on television that people were gonna try to digital DJ the things I was educating individuals about because they knew they were wrong and they were just trying to learn how to edit the situation. And I'm like, yo, listen, you're already trying to manipulate an element. If a person tries to manipulate an element, that means they're going to actually deteriorate the element. Because if the element had points of acknowledgement, of honesty, that was digitally set in a sequence for its own acknowledgement, for its own consciousness to remember what was going on, for itself also, and to know the difference, how to discern and to judge the situation. And then you have, it's like Superman with the crystals. And then you have individuals that want to ruin it. What are they gonna do to the higher education in the future at the time? It's like once you would fuck up a light, what would you do to anybody else? And then a person's wondering who's the original light. And then when a man has to refine, a man can't look the same as them because the people that's spoiling easy and just spoiling in situations instantly is it seems to be like Caucasian or white people or same type of way. I hope not because I'm a real Caucasian man. I'm just looking like this right now. So that's the funniest situation. So it's just like, but what caused it? The dark intentions of individuals. Another person said, you put an individual in space. I said, yeah, I put certain individuals in space. But I didn't put individuals to go want to acknowledge the reason why depth intent. Only people that really knew how to handle it was really dealing with it. Another person doesn't know nothing going on with it, and then you go do some mistake that's on you. It's like you ever woke up in the morning and then you see the sun out in the sky. The sun is also a star. You ever woke up in the morning, you looking at sky blue skies, and then you see the moon out in the sky. You can see the moon in the sky. It's also a star. You think there's another? You ever woke up in the morning and you look up in the sky, and then you happen to see some type of twinkle in the sky in the daytime, and then you wonder what the? And then a man tells you, listen, this is not the only level of state. But the stupidity individuals, don't realize what's really going on. And then look at this: you have the sky blue skies, and then you have fucked up people that's trying to spoil the intent of the high intensity of love a certain type of way and of a miracle with a reason of enlightenment in life. And then imagine them trying to be white anatomy. Why do you think the mood of the sky changes and depresses itself at night? Because it's sorrowful for what individuals already did during the time being, and it didn't want to uphold his life because it should be a shame and it should be a darkness to what people really want to do. It's just like space is beautiful because a person look at the depth of the space and then be like, oh, this is no good. No, it has nothing to do with not being no good. It's a wonderful thing. It's just the fact is the depth wasn't meant for certain individuals. It was only meant for certain individuals to light up the sky, the space, for the space to even have acknowledgement, the reason of the love that certain individuals even had, for it to actually acknowledge the reality what's going on, and to even learn the lessons of life, to even know how to maintain itself just in case a person would never want to enlighten acknowledgement. And that's it's like and if I look at life like individuals that does stupid things, it's like you want to end the world because of ignorance, because other people want to experience things, and then they've lost their reason of order, and then you try to end it. It's like me putting my wife in a realm, and then she comes out of the realm, and then she wants to experience other men or something. It's like, wait a minute, I'll run conquered life for you to come out stupid. So I'm sorry that you even seen any space of secrecy or experience any space of secrecy at the time, because that the space of secrecy, if she came out, or any of my wives came out of any space of secrecy, and they tried to manipulate to violate my life, let the energy and force wherever they were doing murder and killing. And first, kill the individual who they was influencing them and never let them recover ever in life. So they'll never be able to be refined, recover, or enter the cycle of life with that type of mentality. So it's like a man going on his honeymoon and fucking up a nigga's honeymoon. You should get murdered for something like that. And on top of it, and let the energy kill I would tell the energy like you should just murder this fucking that couldn't that it is my wife, but you should murder her for for even wasting his own time when it gets his own point of acknowledgement at a time. So this is what you wanted to cut. So you violated a form of high secrecy in a realm for individuals that you never knew that was going to kill you and leading up to the depression of the physical reality because they experience and what they want to experience. And then you thinking is okay, like, and they telling you that's stupidity. It's just like when I taught you martial arts, is not to go through physical trauma. It's to learn to avoid and to be able to defend or regard yourself from physical trauma because other individuals. Because the love you were getting was pure. You never felt physical trauma like that. So what did I do? I made an individual so physically disciplined that they wouldn't even feel physical trauma. And when I educated my wife in martial arts, it wasn't a stream where it was hurting her privacy or something. It was strengthening her conscience, her physical, and on top of it, to regard even her privacy. Another man went and attacked her vitally. He's like, he wanted her to come out just to attack her vitally, not to even have a good feeling, just to fuck up her nervous system, so she'll never be able to recover or regard her privacy. So she'll never be at the high acknowledgement at a point in life, because he wanted to what know what she knew naturally, and he was trying to learn it just to be able. It's like doing martial arts. Another man that learns not even martial, like karate, to murder somebody vindictive or deviously because of their stupidity. And martial arts is used for natural regardment and defense. It is used for a form of protection if something happens, for one to be able to defend themselves. It's called defend oneself. The reason of the beginning of the situation, because there's a continuance of the earth that needs to acknowledge the real parent, and then one has to end the physical reality of one's condition a certain type of way, because it just was misguided through the lessons it was supposed to learn in life. Because you can't look at it like a person that was is some type of next type of stupid situation. So it's like, no wonder a chick would already have stink pussy, right? And then I educated my wife so much that some of them were in the realm not to even have stink pussy. Like, yeah, I educated my wife to even avoid having stink pussy. And then what? Not matter of fact, the ignorance that caused them to be ignorant is gonna lead up to them having stink pussy anyway. Because what is a person that penetrated their physical, is like penetrating their atmosphere, try to get in some low cellular structure in there. Another person is, how other people learn how to do a form of Zen or a Reiki, and then on top of it, because they were a part of a person a certain type of way, or doing witchcraft, and then they do certain things, and then next thing you know, they try to reflect it on the person. It's like as I'm speaking, a person's trying to reflect. I'm already knowing somebody's already doing wrong, because what I'm saying is right. So it's like a person learning. It's like a person putting in the wrong cellular activity in the atmosphere that is not even a soulmate. Is already low to the acknowledgement of life. Then on top of it, it already lowers its standards, because if a man is not your soulmate, and he's not a part of a happy celebration at a time to have wonderful love and acknowledge the reason of consciousness. What is he lowering his standards for? It's like being a star being and coming in the planet because some new pussy came around. What you came down here for? Because the new pussy, you know who it belonged to? Oh my bad. Oh, it was some old pussy to you, you felt, but you could never get to it. But as soon as it is new pussy to you, no, homeboy. That means you another person doesn't know what's going on. So you see things like that when you have a person does something naturally in physics and nobody realizes it. It's like whatever. Another person wonders, why is the earth even able to acknowledge the point of existence? Listen, space itself, the force of energy, let the star beings know in space. The reason of the black hole was because I was literally on the earth. And the black hole keeps pointing. It's like a person, it's like the energy itself wants to show people, like, if you enter this, you're going to die anyway. But the black hole is like, if it had a face, it would tell you, but it points to individuals. Like, yo, listen, it could blow you away, or it could suck you, absorb you, and nobody ever got to worry about you later. It points to the literal earth that I'm on at the time. Every black hole that ever appeared in space points directly to this earth. You want to know why? The hole itself is like, if the black hole was an eyeball and it was looking at everybody, it's looking directly at this earth, because of why? Ralph Lane Jr. I'm the real Rot, and I'm here in the real space energy force, the real force himself. And the space is looking at me like, oh my God, The guy that's down there is so wonderful. Oh my God, I can't even. It's like it is wondering how to get me out of that type of situation that I'm in on this earth while I'm around stupidity. It's starting to look at the lights like, uh, like, like, oh, how can I say this? Like, short circuits that need to be diffused for the real lights could go up. That's funny because there's no taking turns. I'm not learning something to take. Oh, yo, listen, I never learned anything. I educated individuals, but because I got shot, another person wants me to learn something to take a turn or something. Hey, yo, my nigga, if you stop lying to people and telling people that, yo, listen, my dude, yo, I'm gonna tell you right, even from right now, I'll tell you the truth. I could really disappear, but I, it's like you're never gonna know where I'm going. It's like, oh my God, like it's like space is crying like, yo, there's some type of fumigation that space needs itself because of certain individuals after a while. And I told space that no, it was spoiled pussy that was just waiting to get to the reality that was, my bad. I had to make sure this shit wasn't a part of a situation a certain type of way, man. Yeah, it's like calling your girl and she hiding to go see her boyfriend instead of seeing you and shit. Her boyfriend come driving by just to look at. Oh, you know what I mean? You know something? Sorry to hear certain things, man. I don't really care, you know. It's like after a while, it's like imagine a person that just has some type of point of acknowledgement for the physical reality, and then they want to encourage other people to be wrong because they did wrong already, and then they're gonna blame the people. And then the end result is just like a girl, a man that's married to some chick, and then he said, "Oh, this is like, even if it was the last piece of pussy, if it did me wrong, I guess that was the last piece of pussy because I don't need it." I'm okay in other ways. It's like a person saying, look at this person, so they wanna acknowledge a situation a certain type of way, and then when a man's getting into it, then it's like, yo, you fell to this. That's why it's called temptation. You ever seen the temptation with the five individuals and they were all black? Dark consciousness. You fell to the wayside. The temptation. You understand? It's called the waist side. You wanted a big booty bitch, right? You fell to the wayside. Those are the individuals that was a tonton maku. So the tonton means, yo, listen, yo, it's like saying uncle. It's like telling the son. It's like telling the son your uncle because it's an unc and it's looking at the son. It's looking at the son because he can't go on a high level of me, Ra. So it says uncle. Look at this 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 wife, and she's short. Like, she's short. She has a fat ass. Your uncle, do you want this? Like, this is the fact. Like, do you want this one? And then another individual doesn't even understand the reason of the language a certain type of way. The reasons of the language. Matter of fact, I don't even matter. I'm glad. I'm glad y'all would do some of your own thing after a while, because your own thing is gonna confuse reality because it didn't come from the origin, and then it's gonna be the end of the world after that. Oh, all it takes somebody to say something a certain type of way, and that didn't add up a certain type of way at a point in time in the origin beginning. It's like another person after that, another man hears something. It's like a person saying a word. You ever went to a Masonic lodge and then certain people when they in the ceremony they say certain words, and then the man says, "Yo, listen, you heard what the nigga just said? You don't say nothing. Yo, this is gonna be a force that's gonna follow that nigga. It's gonna murder and kill that nigga. That if that nigga said it towards somebody else, it's gonna kill that person. And if he doesn't know how to hold that force, it's gonna come back and it's gonna kill that. Especially if he's not the beginning of the reason of the point of existence himself. By the time that energy force of them words that he spoke is gonna come back and brutally murder that nigga. You ain't even gonna believe you won't even know what's going on after a while. It's like being able to say words. Like I try to educate my wives about these things. I was trying to educate them about the craft, witchcraft. I was like, yo, you say certain things a certain way. Be careful of what you say and who you say it to, because you might say something to the wrong, like, uh, if to you, for them to say something wrong to the right man is the wrong. It's like saying it's like the right man is already they're already wrong for saying something to the right man, but to them they thought they were right, but they said something to the right man was if that was wrong, then you get what the word is about now, right? The W, the flow that tries to come to the R, and the next thing you know is the gunshot. Bang! Sorry, wrong nigga, you said it too much. You know? It's just like it's just like slapping space. It's like going in space and finding space himself, the secondary individual, the third, well, not the third, but you'll find like the fifth individual of space, and then slap him like BAM! The nigga turn around, so that'll be the last slap you ever raise your hand to slap anybody else ever. Yo, my dog, let me tell you something how real situation. It's like saying a form of a word of witchcraft and then undoing the physical reality because you didn't know what the word was. It's like a person making up a word to communicate with people. You ever had people that make up their own words and slang to communicate with other people because they were mad that other people understood what they were speaking about? And then they're not me, the origin that has to make sure a certain thing is a certain type of way. They want to go speak their own words a certain type of way, and then that all you see is it's like the dismantling of existence a certain type of way, and then it's maintaining because you have individuals that's following the reality, but the words itself is going to kill the person that's dismantling it because the word is like the energy itself is wondering who is this person at a time and what's their reason for existence, because it's just like having a piece of pussy that doesn't do nothing for the man of me, like me, the original man. It doesn't do nothing for me. So it's gonna look to kill it. It has to learn how to demoralize it to kill it, because it's like, yo, listen, you're not gonna say the energy is demonic. You can't say that, because why? You went and spoke some demonic a demonic phrase. It's called a phrase, like you framing something. You went, it's called a phrase because it could be wonderful or it could be negative, but it's a phrase. It's a phrase like Ra. Like pyramid highest Ra is and sending a real powerful vibration. So you went and sent a phrase out there a certain way, and then you wasn't doing nothing for the individual at the time. Matter of fact, what did you even think, and who did you even look upon, and who did you even companion with in the physical reality? It's like the energy of force, the energy of light looks at a wife. It's like me calling my wife from a realm, and then she goes and sit down with other men in the physical realm before she even lets me acknowledge her and sit down with me in the physical realm. And say, your baby, I miss it. You went and sat down with another man and stuff? You tried to say what you gonna lie to the energy so you were protecting me? I've been around here so long. The reason why you learned everything you learned is because I already had protection. So what the fuck were you doing? So you went and sat with another man. You lied to the energy. The energy just needs me to realize that, listen, this bitch went and sat with another nigga. Did all type of shit. Listen, murder that bitch. Yo, murder that bitch. I don't give a fuck out of it. I say, I'm a grown man. What? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck about you. I hope you get stomped, murdered. I don't even want to hear nothing about you. Right? Matter of fact, I would love to see you in the physical reality just to laugh about what's going to be missing. I don't even give a fuck about. Literally. It's like violating light. It's like, oh my God. It's like It's like paying somebody like more than $1 million, and generations of children that's supposed to be alive, that's not alive because some stupid bitch went and did the wrong thing in the physical reality. Oh my god. It's like listen, it's like God, imagine having one empress that doesn't have kids anymore, and she's the regardless because she's still learning. So a man has to decide, yo, should I give her kids one day, and she's regarding my children. Then you have the real empress, the real astrological empress, like on a real high level that really have the kids, and then you went and fucked up her marriage and depressed her reality, like you was thinking up her inside. And you put it's like playing a part of thinking of the main empress of the earth. Yo, listen, if I call the main empress of this earth, my nigga, I'd have to be on another planet. Because if she comes in here, my nigga, yo, my nigga, the first thing she's gonna do is just toss me up. She gonna, yo, listen, go up, because what's about to happen is gonna be serious. You imagine that, like, it's not like calling a stupid fake bitch. That's just the point of enlightenment. Watching, it's like leading up to the real little situation because a person got to see what caused the fatality of their humane condition a certain type of. You, I'm sitting here, you went and been with the next nigga. Other niggas done holler at you, done sat, spoke to other niggas. It's like jumping in a light. It's like doing all type of other things with the one thing you were supposed to do. That, and then you went and did everything else. I don't get, yo, listen, bitch, you ain't got no fucking excuse. It's like calling like 7 or 8 bitches at the same time, and then all of them want to go do all types of things. Like what? Oh wait a minute. Oh no, bitch. Another chick is just looking at her life like, yo, this bitch is inside of me, my nigga. Yo, listen, I gotta get that shit out of me, my nigga. And I'm looking at her like, she looking at me like, I can't let this shit touch me. That's the only reason why the nigga alive. And then you think she gonna be okay? Like you gonna be okay with the real empress? You stinking up her reality, causing fucked up intentions of fucked up mental consciousness intentions in her, causing people to spoil their conscience and their humane existence, to do the wrong thing, and then destroying her emotionally and spiritually on a level. And then you think you gonna be cool with her? Do you think she gonna come through and be smiling with you, stupid bitch? What? Oh my god. It's like being a stupid fucking kid in a point. Like, she looking at the nigga like, yo, listen, you're a rich. Yo, this nigga gonna get hit by a car? This nigga should been a goner. It's like after a while she be joking with other people, and then it's like she has to wait till another person reflects and realize what's going on and tell somebody before she starts making the decisions to finish everybody. Like, you need not to even be said. The nigga already said you finished. Get the fuck out of here. That's it. It's like, yo, you were regarding a nigga for nothing. You talking all type of shit. And then you have other empresses that have earths higher. Just watching herself, and then looking at her like they're already doctoring her on a level, and then they're just looking at her pussy like, wow. You got all them niggas that want to mess up that guy's, well, they're looking at other situations. They start questioning themselves, and they start living. There's no question. So they're messing up our husband's relationship. That bitch just went that inside to mess up that. That bitch don't know nothing, or she thought she was gonna find out something, or she's gonna fuck your son to find out something. Then she starts worrying like, oh no, as soon as he go over there, he getting murdered. So it doesn't matter. The other mother's looking at him, he gonna get murdered right then and there. That's it. But that bitch went through it, and she, it's like they had the natural connect. It's like, imagine an empress coming out in the physical realm that had the real natural connection. It wasn't even a star being. It was one of them that was in the realm that had the natural connection. That's like a heart attack waiting to happen. Like all of the spirits and energies gotta get, even possession spirits gotta gather together just to murder them bitches. Now. You just gotta literally murder them bitches and every single individual that influenced it. And on top of it, you can't make my life uncomfortable doing that shit. You have to make sure that I'm never feel the way of uncomfort, because if I feel a way of uncomfort, that's like killing the possession spirits, the energy, the force, and the astrological empress all in one, because that's like the literal disease itself that just waited to manipulate to get in the physical realm that was just gonna fuck up the harmony. That's what it, yo, my dude. It's just like, what? Yo, think about what I'm saying in the science of physics or what I'm telling you when it comes to like fucking dominoes, nigga. It's like falling dominoes, like it's like a fucking train. You ever seen a train track? Following the track to go to your destination, final destination, nigga. Oh my god. The Empress of Space would have to hear me speaking about this. Does she know what I'm speaking? I know she already knows what I'm speaking about. The evidence is right here in the phone. Another person can't say nothing about it. No, my nigga, you can't even do nothing about this. What? You erase that? That another person just hoping whoever you would else. You're like, if you were to sacrifice, everybody that thought like you was gonna be the sacrifice after that. If you were fucking up my happiness, everybody's life was gonna be the sacrifice after that. Yo, my nigga, you wasn't. Other people wasn't built for the galactical war with certain individuals. Yo, it was so real. I had to tell my wives at the time, like, yo, wait. It's already serious. But if y'all get into it a certain type of way, I was like, yo, listen, I've done this certain things a certain type of way with y'all. I gotta go real far to be here because I can't die like that. She was like, what? I can't die like that. Because you're gonna have to die through your own situation this time. So if I was the first one that conquered the galactical war, and if you feeling it's your turn, then I can't be here like that. And I'm not going in no spiritual realm. I just can't be on this side of the space. I gotta go somewhere. Because I don't got time. I didn't make things for that. I didn't. Yo, listen, it's bad enough. My wife is wondering that she noticed it. It was bad enough that I was already here, and it's like, my wife should feel super nervous after that. Like, what? Then my husband noticed it and everything in it. Oh my god! After that, it's like send the tsunami wind and just kill niggas. It's like once an individual, it's like the air itself would have to see if individuals would think bad about me to murder individuals instantly. Like, as soon as that person have a thought, they say certain type of words. They try to. It's like if they take, even if they try to lie to them to test. It's like you gotta watch the movement of their physical reality. As soon as they do something, it's just like if a person is positioning themselves in chess to murder everybody, like they were just waiting to murder everybody in chess. Then hey, I'm sorry, that'll be a person that's not even getting up, bro. They might as well, after they go to sleep, they won't even be waking up, bro. And if they say they don't sleep, they lied to you because they're going to tell you they slept. And if they ever get up again, oh no, they were just tired, they got to go to sleep, you just got to separate them. They can't never see each other a certain type of way because that shit can't even ever breathe again. Don't look for an excuse for another person. Oh, just say, no, just rock it all the way, rock it all the way. That's it. For real? Yo, my nigga, let me just tell you something. Sorry to tell you this. Oh, man. 2010, bro. 509. Look at that, right? Loved one. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. To all of you out there. And to me, and my wife, my real wife, sorry, babes, was, babes, just get, clean house, babe. I don't give a fuck about everybody else. And don't call her to your bills. You look like a fucking 500 piece of shit. You might as well clean house in every type of way, babes. Love one, babes. and babes, I'm Abbott White. Love me, babe.